Hi friends, I am Dr. B.V. Rao of Usha Clinic and founder of the websites fewmedicaldoubts.blogspot.in and drraghavamedicaldoubts.in. Through these videos, I am providing the basic knowledge about the commonly occurring diseases, treatments and surgery details when necessary for the medical knowledge to the general people and for reference to the medicals. Today I am going to discuss about the infections of the hand. Infections of the hand are the commonest occurrence due to the pricks or scratches unnoticed. Majority of the infections are caused by the Staph aureus, Staphylococcus aureus, whose toxins cause the death of the tissue. Next organism comes the Streptococcus pyogenes. Clinical features. It commences as a cellulitis and if untreated, suppuration follows. The patient complains of throbbing pain. It is severe when the hand is dependent. The pain is interferes with the sleep and it is indicative of pus somewhere in the zone of the suspicion. The inflamed area is pressed with a blunt point probe to find the area of maximum tenderness, edema. It is the outstanding feature in all infections of the hand due to the rich lymphatic network and loose tissue in the dorsum of the hand. Edema is more on this side. It is to be minimized by elevating the forearm to prevent the stiffness of the disease. Diffuse subcutaneous infection, lymphangitis. When there is a prick or scratch of the skin, Streptococcus gain entrance cause the feature of inflammation, pain, swelling and rise in local temperature and redness due to rich lymphatics on the dorsum of the hand. Edema is more on the dorsum of the hand. Later lymphangitis ensues causing red streaks passing up the hand. Lymph gland swells up. First gland to swell is the epitrochlea. If the infection is in the middle finger, first gland is above the clavicle, and in this case infection enters the general circulation and gives rise to severe constitutional symptoms. Lymphatics of the thumb and index finger pass to the axillary lymph nodes. Deep lymphangitis may or may not be associated with the red streak passing up the arm. But only evidence is the malaise, fever, swelling of the arm and forearm, and a complete absence of local features. Treatment: bed rest, elevation of the affected limb, giving penicillin. If there is a suppuration, should be drained. Cellulitis. It is the infection of the facial space in the proportion of cases higher in loose subcutaneous space than in those where confined the inflammation resolves. If the rest in the rest a local abscess may be found. Incision during the active cellulitis is mischievous. On the other hand, fluctuation must not be evaded in infection of closed and deep spaces. Swelling, induration, and tenderness is the indication for the right hand incision. Erysipeloid. Erysipeloid is caused by gram-positive bacillus. Erysipelotheris raciopathy, which enters the tissue by punctured wound by a fish bone, meat bone, as the organism is common among birds and animals. Starts with a purple induration on the finger. Treatment consists of West penicillin injection. Localized cutaneous and subcutaneous infection. Acute paronychia. It is an infection at the paronychium, base of the nail, and organism is Staphylococcus aureus. As a result of hangnail, nail paring, unsterile manicure, etc. Usually suppuration follows, and due to adherence of the eponychium to the base of the nail, pus tends to track around the cutaneous margin, and in some cases it extends under the nail and can be seen as white area, but never extended deeper than dermis. If untreated, spontaneous rupture occurs. The suppuration may be continued or may be secondarily infected with Escherichia coli or other organisms. Treatment. Penicillin given early may abort the infection. When the pus is seen, incision and drainage is advisable. If secondary infection follows, higher antibiotics may be given. Chronic paronychia. Long history, mixed infection, and multiple lesions are present. The infection is common in washerman. Conservative treatment is effective. Surgical treatment is effective if it is a bacterial infection. In majority of cases, the infection is by Monnelia or yeast infection. This can be settled by microscopical examination or culture of fungi. Treatment. Dropping of bradosol, domifen bromide, 1 in 500 in spirit, or Cantorane tincture, hydropen, into the nail fold twice daily. For this, cotton should not be used. When the pockets become filled with granulations, their treatment is discontinued. And the hands must be kept as dry as possible until epithelialization occurs. Superficial radiotherapy assists in cleaning the resistant cases. Localized superficial abscess. These can be intraepidermal, purulent blisters, intradermal, subcutaneous, or superficial loculus of a collar stud abscess. The volar surface of the hands of manual workers is often covered with a thickened epithelium. Here, the subcutaneous abscess may burst through the dermis and extend in the layers of the epidermis. It is difficult to differentiate from the purulent blister until the deeper loculus has been discovered at operation. Treatment. The abscess is opened by transfixation. The flaps are cut after the unroofed cavity has been swabbed free from pus. It is explored for a sinus leading to a deeper loculus. If such is found, the communicating channel is stretched by inserting the opening the jaws of a smaller hemostat. Infections of the dorsum and the dorsal spaces. Usual cause is the boils or a penetrating wound. The infections of the dorsal subcutaneous space of the hand and corresponding space in the proximal segment of a digit is common if it is accompanied by persistent tenderness, induration, and perhaps redness lasting lasting a few days, immediately attended without waiting for fluctuation. Surgery. An incision about half an inch, that is 1.3 centimeters long, longitudinally made over the point of maximum tenderness. Carbuncle of the hand. Carbuncle is common in the dorsum of the hand and proximal segment of the digit. Infection carried by wiping the mouth of the nose with the back of the hand. A carbuncle is liable to involve an extensor tendon and is slow to heal. Treatment. Penicillin is in early stages of the infection. Local treatment with osmotic paste supplemented by infrared or short-wave diathermy. Sensitivity of the organism is determined by culture and sensitivity test. And appropriate antibiotic may be given. Washing the surrounding area twice a day with hexachlorophane discourages the growth of the organism. Barber's pilonidal sinus. Barber's pilonidal sinus is due to the customer's clippings penetrating the skin, most frequently the web between the digits third and fourth of the left hand. In uninflamed state, it is marked by a small black dot with a collection of epithelial scales around it. A cyst-like nodule can be palpated below the visible lesion. Recurrent attacks of subacute or acute inflammation in the sinus cause the patient to seek relief. Human bites. Due to presence of several organisms in the saliva, human bite is dangerous to the limb or life. If over the joint of hand, an incised wound of bite on the knuckle of the clenched fish, the joint is penetrated, but the crack is closed when the fingers are extended. In such case, the wound is incised, and if the joint is penetrated, a portion of the capsule is included in the debridement. Primary closure is not advisable. Chronic underlying ulcer of the melania. It produces a destructive lesion of the skin and subcutaneous tissue of the dorsum of the hand. The organism is a symbiotic infection of microphilic non-hemolytic streptococcus and hemolytic streptococcus aureus. The presentation is outer zone of the erythema, intermediate puzzle zone, and an inner zone of the gangrenous skin with granulating ulcer. The lesion continues to grow till the patient dies, or infection is controlled by local and systemic bacillus. Deep localized infections of terminal pulp space, pilon, is the second most common infection of the hand. The index finger and the thumb are the common sites caused by three clinical features. Dull pain more when the hand is dependent and swelling. After 48 hours, severe nocturnal throbbing pain interfering with sleep. Corresponding lymph node is enlarged and tender. If untreated, leads to an abscess, points to the center. A cholesterol abscess results and may burst. Treatment. When there is only cellulitis, penicillin is given in large doses. Operation. A short incision when the Langer's lines is made through the skin at the point of maximum tenderness. Removal of slough is desirable, but care must be taken not to traumatize periosteum. may lead to osteomyelitis of the terminal phalanx. Apical space. Apical space infection. Usual cause is the prick beneath the nail, causing infection of the space between the subungual epithelium and the periosteum. It is very painful. Tenderness is greater beneath the free edge of the nail. Pus comes to the surface here or under the nail. Surgery. A small V is removed from the edge of the nail and a wedge of the full thickness of the skin overlying the abscess is excised. The pus is evacuated. Middle volar space of visit infection. The space is loosely packed. Clinical features. The finger is in semi-flexion, pain on straightening, tender and induration over the space. Later, the purulent blood appears in distal flexion free. Proximal volar space infection. Once localized, the infection is easy to diagnose. So the swelling is asymmetrical. Surgery. Transverse incision is made at the site of the tenderness. When the diagnosis is uncertain, lateral longitudinal incision is made. Infections of the web spaces. Clinical features. Edema of the back of the hand. Tenderness. The patient lying on the bed with arm splinted and elevated. Penicillin administered IM once localization has occurred. Signs of infection of web space becomes manifest. Localizing sign. The base of one finger is swollen. The finger adjacent to the space are separated. Maximum tenderness is present in the web. Untreated, the pus may cross the base of the finger, enter the adjacent web space. Surgery. A transverse incision is made on the palmar surface of the affected web space deep enough to reach the subcutaneous patch. Palmar fascia divided. The pus don't flow short with a probe or directed. The incision is enlarged. The edge of the wound is cut to leave a diamond-shaped opening. Deep palmar abscess. Clinical features. Intense pain and tenderness of palm of the affected hand, edematous swelling of the dorsum of the hand and increases rapidly. The frog hand. The fingers are in flexion. Regional lymphadenitis is present. Later palm becomes flattened. Surgery. Under the general anesthesia or regional block of radial or ulnar nerves at the wrist, a central transverse incision is made in the line of flexion crease passing across the middle of the palm. The palmar fascia is divided longitudinally to avoid nerves and vessels. Pus drained and margins trimmed. Acute suppurative tenosynovitis. It is the infection of the sheath of the flexor tendon due to the bacteria introduced by point of needle. Any sharp object penetrating the tendon sheath. Sometimes the sheath is infected by extension from the terminal pulp infection. Excuse me, just a minute. Acute fulminating tenosynovitis. It is the rapid infection spreading to whole of the sheath. The organism is the Streptococcus hemolyticus or Staphylococcus aureus, clinical features. Symmetrical swelling of the whole finger, hook side, flexion of the finger with explicit pain and extension, tenderness over the infected sheath, especially proximal, right? Especially proximal treatment. One minute. Early administration of penicillin, fulminating infection becomes less common. Localized suppurative tenosynovitis. Tenderness and swelling are limited to one portion of the digit and diagnosis is difficult. Infection of the ulnar bursa. Edema of whole hand, especially dorsum due to lymphatic spread. Moderate swelling of the palm. Swelling, sometimes fullness of the above the flexor retinaculum. The flexed fingers are resist to the extension. Canaveral site. The area of greatest tenderness is over that part of ulnar bursa lying between the transverse palmar crease. If untreated, they intercommunicate with other neighboring ones. Infection of the radial bursa. Distal phalanx of the thumb is the flexion digit of for extension. Tenderness over the flexor pollicis longus. Sometimes swelling over the flexor retinaculum. Treatment of acute infected tenosynovitis. The forearm and hand are splinted and 1 mega unit of penicillin is given and observed for 48 hours. With no relief, immediately surgery is undertaken. The first incision is transverse incision over the tendon sheath. A thin bulging theca is seen and divided. Some of the pus is aspirated and sent for bacteriological examination. The theca is divided transversely to form diamond-shaped opening. Pressure is exerted over the bulge to drain the exudate. Complications of suppurative tenosynovitis. Involvement of forearm and the hand. In case of radial or ulnar bursa infection, pus travels up the forearm. There is a brawny induration above the wrist. Continuation of suppuration. Extension of the infection to a facial space or another tendon sheath. Suppurative arthritis in related to joint. It is rare if occurs amputation of the digit except some relieves the disability. A shift digit results rarely. Stiff finger may be resulted. Amputation may be treatment. Paralysis of the median nerve. When signs of median nerve palsy develops, early decompression of the carpal tunnel by serving the flexor retinaculum is recommended. General principles: the treatment of infection of the hand, antibiotic therapy, provision of rest and elevation of the affected limb, early recognition of the presence of pus and its localization. Evacuation of the pus and, in case of facial spaces, debridement of the walls of the abscess cavity. That's all about the infections of the hand. And in the next video, I will discuss about some other disease. Thank you.